up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Guys, bring everybody back in. Good to see everybody here. Hey, I want to start off a little bit of downer and kind of bring it back up, but a couple prayers that need to go out there. My friend Steven needs some prayers, and then Brayley and Logan's cat. And then, of course, more importantly, to the 6 service members that have already lost their life overseas, their families. Huge respect from my heart, of course, as a veteran of 22 years and things of that nature. But hey, look, it's a different kind of March Madness we got going on this month. So welcome everybody back in. I'll tell you what I'm having. I'm having a little bit of double oak tonight, Woodford Reserve. It's a good one to have. Pretty stoked about it. But guys, everybody, first of all, like, love, share, turn on notifications, and subscribe. We need more subs. So everybody that's here, cheers. Good seeing everybody.
Cheers, brothers.
David, what are you drinking?
Hi, drinking a little Papa's Pilar. This is the sherry cask finish.
Nice.
Very nice one, very palatable. I got this from you, Jody.
I was going to say,
I'm pretty sure that bottle came from you. So I'm enjoying it on this fine rainy Monday night. Cheers, guys.
You know what's funny about Ernest Hemingway? Do you know he couldn't sleep with the lights off? He had to sleep with them on because he was a participant in World War I. I know this is some useless information, but he got shot or wounded at night, and he says that in part of his biography that he felt his soul leave his body and then came back, and so he'd have these PTSD moments and stuff. So he always slept with the light on.
With the light on.
Wow. Look at that. David's there. Says good
What's
evening,
up,
gentlemen.
David?
What's up, David?
Good evening, David.
We should ask David what he's drinking tonight.
David, what are you drinking? We'll wait for your response. We're going to the next person. Rob, what you got, sir?
Oh, tonight I am drinking a little Barrel Craft Spirits, double barreled. So
Just a little bit.
the double oak thing seems to be a trend so far. Love this one. It's a really nice one, probably around the same price as double oak. You can get it shipped to you.
No.
If you can get it shipped to you.
If.
Can't do that.
I got
here
it
in the
shipped
great
to
state
me
of
in
Tennessee.
Pennsylvania, and I was impressed
They
with that.
ship here too.
They will not ship to Tennessee ever since July 31st of 2017. I only remember that because it's still a canker on my ass about it. Gino, what are you drinking?
Gino is having some Larceny Barrel Proof A125.
Ooh.
I was up in the air on what I was going to enjoy tonight, and I just happened to glance over and I said, "Ooh, I see you hiding back there." So, yep.
Barrel proof larceny is pretty good. I like that.
It's absolutely delicious.
And what's cool about the A125, it has strong, very strong vanilla and oak notes on the nose and also on the taste. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. And on top of that, I also get candied walnuts.
You candied what kind of nuts in your mouth? I didn't hear
Walnuts.
that. Okay.
Chocolate salty balls.
I'm not rising to your master of baiting.
He is a master debater.
Been known to do
Definitely
that.
a different kind of March Madness.
It's
Jeez, that's right.
Definitely a different kind of March Madness.
supposedly it's really healthy for you, definitely for your testosterone. So I say keep it up. Oh, Jackie Frost, man, what are you having?
By the way, before you go in, just to respond to David, unfortunately, David was not imbibing with us tonight. He's drinking a Diet Pepsi because he's Uber driving while he's listening. Well, we'll raise one for you, man. Stay sober while you're on the clock.
You know, I thought about being an Uber driver, but only because I thought it'd be fun to watch people try to get into my truck.
I can just imagine. I don't think it would have very high reviews because you seem like the kind of person you would like wait for someone to pull up, like they're going to get in and like pull away a little bit, like if they're coming to the door.
No. I would sit there and wait for them, and I just watch them. And I might record it and make it YouTube and make it an Uber driving with Jody and his big ass truck on YouTube.
There you
go. So anyway, still Austin.
Right. Thank you.
113 proof 4-year-old. This one's a couple of years old. Shocker. This is what they call the Nancy's pick. So Nancy Fraley actually picked this one. Every month she releases out of the distillery special barrel she picks out of the warehouse, blends them, and
Okay.
puts them out. So this is from July of 2024 when I was out there. I picked up a couple for my birthday. So my month of birthday is in July. So
You know, since you're doing the Colorado Springs TikToks, is that correct? Or Colorado whiskey? What's it called?
yeah, Colorado Whiskey Speakeasy.
Yeah, Colorado Whiskey Speakeasy on TikTok, which is, by the way, really good. Surprisingly, it's very, very good.
Oh, thank you.
But since you're doing that, I think we still need to bring up a little bit about Copper Scott, because that was one of my favorite things, my favorite companies, my only company that I loved from Colorado outside of Breckenridge at one point, right? And
Yeah.
or Breckenridge, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right,
Right.
but
Close enough.
but I have read all the forums and the hey, there's Daniel Barry,
A little old fashioned.
What's up?
little old fashioned.
No.
But anyway,
old fashioned.
I have heard so much derogatory stuff about definitely the investors.
Let's get through everybody else's drink and then we'll circle back around.
Okay.
David Fraley said, "Did you say Fraley? I'm intrigued. I'll look into that because you mentioned master distiller is Nancy Fraley.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
They could be
Same.
kin. They could be cousins. You could start Uber driving right outside the distillery in Colorado.
There you go.
So,
All right, who the hell's listening to something crazy on TV?
Hmm?
My TV's off.
Rob.
Sounds like Hitler.
Rob. Is it Rob?
No.
No.
Okay, well, there's clearly somebody listening to something. But anyway,
Or is
who
that
was
just
up
the
next?
neighbors?
I guess it's Billy is up last.
Yeah, so I'm definitely having some sort of March Madness. So, this year's been totally, totally awesome for business. And I don't get the chance to do things very often for myself. So March 1st was yesterday. So I decided, you know what? I want to get tattooed. It's been a minute. So
Go in your hand.
both hands, actually, I got tattooed. But here's the kicker. Immediately after leaving the tattoo shop, I go to Publix. And some rando dude, I don't know, out of his mind, whatever, decides to rush me. Like full on. So both of my hands are freshly tatted. And I give this guy a 2-piece. I'm like, Jesus Christ. What is actually going on in my life? Today,
What in the Florida man?
yeah, like literally. And this tattoo kind of goes like over my knuckle a little bit. And I'm like, I just hit this guy with a freshly tattooed hand. I'm like, Jesus Christ, my day is really going strange. So I come back home. I said I'm not leaving the house for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I bet.
Today we book all of March, first couple of weeks of April. And moments ago, before we came on the show, I had this bottle of Old Ezra, which I'm drinking tonight.
Oh,
I've had this bottle. I haven't even knocked the dust off of it. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a little cloudy
Yeah.
on the bottom. The
Your
cork
bottle
is
does
not-
look a little ashy,
Yeah, it is. It needs some cocoa butter.
by the
And
way,
the
which is
cork-
good for all races. I love cocoa butter.
So my cork decided to disintegrate as I went to go open it. So here's to a different kind of March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I'm having. This Old Ezra is delicious. Maybe the cork
Yes.
disintegrating on me is a sign to drink the entire bottle.
Mm-hmm.
you gotta finish it
Be
now,
good
man.
To yourselves.
There you go.
Rock'em Sock'em Billy.
Cheers.
Rock'em. And by the way, there's my son Jordan. He's doing well. He's going to go play golf on Thursday morning. He asked me if I want to play. I've got a little bit of a back injury, and I would love to go play with him, but I don't need my son to be beating me in golf, which he's going to do. And of course, he's going to look better than me out there too. So, yeah. So
That was me.
Mm-hmm. So,
either way, if you're not watching Good Times, I think you got to turn it down. Whatever you watch.
I'm not watching anything.
somebody's watching
Louder, brother.
something.
Does somebody have? Let me ask you
What is
this.
this reminds me of like the first time we were doing this on Zoom or whatever.
Yeah, and then we had
like,
people photo.
random ass people
Zoom
trying to
bombing us.
jump. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Zoom bomb us. Like, what is happening?
Hold on.
You know what? I don't really even care. We can meander through it.
Yeah. You know
So
what?
I will
I've
tell
said
you
this
that
before.
I've had the last 3 weeks, man, work wise has been absolutely a nightmare. And so, and it's not, I love dealing with students. I love talking to my students and stuff like that. But, and it's not really the atmosphere of that, but sometimes it's a combination of all the things you have to, or the culmination of everything you have to put together. Right.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's just like, man, I just don't know if I do this anymore, you know. And I don't mean that like a suicidal thing. That's not what I mean. I mean it more like or an off in myself type of thing. I mean it like, oh my God. Like I was thinking about not drinking tonight, but now I'm gonna have to, you know.
Kind of like one of those I'm done with people sort of things.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's so rough. And then, man, I tell you, this weekend I had a great time. I went on Friday, went to this speakeasy in Columbia that's called the Bourbon Gospel. It was pretty awesome. The food, I would argue their food on that specific night. Now I will tell you that I also set myself up for failure. And that is because I wanted on the menu, I had already prepped myself all day long. I wanted the brisket chili. And I get there and I was like, waitress asked me what I wanted. I'm like, brisket chili. I'm done. Don't need to see the menu. And then she comes back. She's like, we're out of brisket chili. I'm like,
Oh,
Mm.
pain.
you know, so I was terribly upset about that. But the brisket tacos were, and I love spicy food. And Billy knows this. He's seen me eat spicy food all the time. They were way too spicy. Like you're sitting there sweating and snotting while you're eating all this stuff, and that's just not attractive for anybody.
So that means you couldn't even fully enjoy the brisket.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No
You
fun.
couldn't. It was
No bueno.
too. Yeah. You couldn't take. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do is because I brought it home, is I'm going to pull the brisket out of it and then try to cook some of the brisket and put it in a breakfast burrito. Is what I'm going to do with it. Where the spice would be more warranted because it'd be offset by eggs and potatoes and stuff like that. And then on Saturday, I went to the Black Rabbit, which is a very nice upscale restaurant downtown Nashville for Soups Night.
Nothing like the Dirty Room.
Nothing like Dirty Rabbit. No. This is a high class
Yeah, they don't let me in
jazz
places like
bar,
this.
and we went there for Suits Night Part 2. Me and my son Preston like to do. He loves to dress up, and he's definitely better looking than me, even in a suit. Even though I wear one all the time, but he looks good in a suit, and he really enjoyed it, and it was just a great time. Me, him, and Michelle, we had a great time. So good times.
And the thing about brisket is if it's done really well, any established worth its salt should run out of brisket. If you don't run out of brisket, and I'm not saying this in any sort of braggish way, you're doing something wrong. I went through on Saturday, I went through 26 briskets for the car show. I mean, we were
Nice.
completely sold out. But people have this affection with brisket, like it's the hardest thing to get on the planet. So if it's done right and done well, you should
Yep.
sell out.
Well, that was out of the brisket chili, but they had brisket for like the tacos and the enchiladas and stuff like that. I also would argue that brisket, though perfect for that setting, in Tex-Mex Mexican food doesn't really go with the vibe of bluegrass music and stuff of that nature. The vibe was very, very cool. Like the vibe was awesome. All right, but because they have an outdoor portion, they have an indoor really small area, and then they have an upstairs. And I had reserved tables for upstairs, but when we got there, the lady was like, I just asked her, I'm like, can we sit outside in the courtyard? And she was like, I got one table available. And so we went and sat outside, and it was nice. I really liked it. And it was under a heat lamp, so we had plenty of warmth and stuff of that nature. Again, the vibe is super cool. I love downtown Columbia. I think it's one of the most beautiful places on earth. It's so it's one of my favorite places. You can walk to everything, and it's like a true square. It's not like I was on Franklin. I was at Franklin's Square on Sunday, And Franklin's so. By the way, Franklin is in the home of the 5th richest county in the nation, and so it's just the vibe is much different. Now we did go to Leaper's Fork has a tasting bar now in the Franklin Square, so we did go there and listen to some live music and had some of their honey cast, and another one was their tequila cast, and the last one was rum cast. I'm gonna be honest with you, the rum cast, the best. That tastes just like honeysuckles.
No doubt.
That was so good.
Leaper's Fork rum cast.
Yep.
Okay.
That
I'm
sounds-
guessing that I haven't seen that anywhere, so I'm guessing that's a distillery only thing.
I don't even know if they have it anymore, if they're ever going to make it again, because they're not going to make the honey cast ever again. They had what they said was the reason why they weren't going to do it is all their bees died during the freeze.
Oh,
Mm.
That would be a good reason to stop or have to.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sucky though.
So,
Right.
but anyway, yeah. So, so when I put tonight's event together, I was thinking about it, and without us getting political, and I know it's touchy to try to not in some cases. I was thinking, wow, March is just rolling in like, here's the thunder, let's do this, and and it's not like it's something. I don't know. It just feels like the world is going, hey, when you think you're going to do okay, I'm going to kick you in the ass one more time, And I sit there and look at it. And of course, with me, some of the things that hits me out of it is I have friends that are still in active duty, right? I have cadets that I train, a lot of cadets that I've trained that are, that are on, I don't know. I wouldn't say they're on the front lines, but a couple of them are pilots. So they may be, and you look at these people and you're like, like that next generation. And I guess with the Warriors voice, you never want to hear the next generation goes, but it truly is the next generation. But it doesn't mean I don't feel for them in the way it is. Like some of my concerns are some of the same concerns I had, right? Or that anybody would have, David Fraley had, or anybody had, right? And when I was talking to Steven about this was Friday. He was like, it was Preston when I was talking about it, because I did quite a few tours. I did 8 total deployments, and he was like, what's it feel like? And I was like, it feels like, to be honest with you, it feels like you're being incarcerated when you first go. Like on that last tour I went on, well, it wasn't the last tour, but it was the one that David was on as well. That was 368 days. All right. And I remember getting there and going, wow, 368 days. And it is hot. All right. And then the next day was 367, 366, so on and so on. Right. And then you get to go ahead.
Question to interrupt, because I've never been deployed, and I don't understand what that looks like. So you're actually given the number of days you're supposed to be there.
Yeah. In country. Yeah.
Or when you get there.
It's
So
on
you have
your,
an
it's,
actual-
it's on your orders. So
Gotcha. So it's
you
not
get
like
issued-
you're here and then like maybe you're gonna get to go home on this date, and maybe you're gonna
No.
get home on that date. It's like this is your number, and when your number's up, you go home.
That's correct. It's correct.
Okay, I had no
But
idea.
can you imagine? So here's the difference. So World War II, when they, when a lot of men were drafted or went into the military voluntarily, the Greatest Generation and stuff of that nature, when they all went over there, it wasn't like that at all. If you never watched Band of Brothers, which I highly recommend, when you went,
It's a good show.
you start, it could be day one, and their day one was Normandy Beach, right? Though they were parachuting in, but they were still, that D-Day was their day one, and they're going to war, but you watch them through their entire 4.5 years that they're deployed.
Yeah.
No breaks, no going home, none of this. And I sit there and I look at it and I'm like, wow. I look at it and go, wow. I used to always look at the Air Force and go, wow, they have 6-month deployments and that's all they have all the time. And then I look at like us and I still think how privileged we are with only having the worst case scenario a year, 368 days. I know that's a little bit more than a year, but that was worst case. Yeah. So you look at that and you're like, wow, that's just crazy. And, like right now it's the Gerald Ford. They were down in Venezuela, that area in the Caribbean, and they were already on deployment. and now they send them all the way across the Atlantic, and they're over there, supporting the things that are going on in Iran right now. So it's amazing. These guys, I mean, anybody gets deployed for whether it's 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. I feel for you. I actually think the operators probably have it, though they would argue probably the worst, and I would agree with them because they're doing direct action most of the time. Their deployments are, generally speaking, they may say 6 months, but it could be 2 weeks here, 6 weeks here, 4 weeks over there, this, that, and whatever, rather than being in one consistent theater. And then a lot of times they're just there for that 6 weeks or whatever to put that direct action thing, and then they are back home side. Now that wouldn't be like the Ranger battalions, but the SF guys.
These are like what people call like the teams. Like they're there to conduct a specific operation in a specific area, and then they'll move them somewhere else to do that somewhere else.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Interesting stuff.
So, guys, I got a question. Let's try to get a little bit into some bourbon. We got
Seriously,
spring
let's do it.
coming up shortly. We're getting ready to spring forward a couple of days
Yep.
from now.
Yep.
Sunday.
What are you guys looking forward to having for spring? Weather should be a little bit better for you guys. What is something you're gonna dust off? Speaking of dusting bottles, I know Gino's gonna be going through a box of cigars a day.
Actually, I had that cigar. What was it? Saturday. I was out there on the porch. Beautiful weather. It was a great day. Was enjoying the afternoon. It was nice and warm. Had the heat on. Comfortable. Sunday, it snowed. It spit snow all day today.
Are you back under ice and snow?
No, it's just out there a little bit. It was kind of like a frosting, I guess you could say, a heavy frost, but it was still spitting snow all day today when it was in the mid 60s here on Saturday. And this coming Saturday,
75.
52.
So, Rob,
It is what it is, but yep, I'll be enjoying the porch.
with spring coming up, Rob, what's something you looking to crack open or enjoy with some nicer weather?
Oh, I've got so much right now. I've got to crack open something that I've got sitting here. It may be a Baumburgers or a Shanks, just to get one of those two cracked open and start drinking on it. But I really haven't gone out and bought anything in maybe 3 bottles and since the start of the year.
Oh, so you got to go through some inventory.
I got to move some inventory off the shelves.
That boy got Total Wines over there. You got to do something.
Yep.
Okay. What about you, Gino? Some warmer weather, whatever that means to you. What do you?
Anything
looking
above
forward to?
freezing is a beautiful day, man. But
Yeah.
I have nothing special lined up because, when I buy it, it usually sits around maybe a week or so before the temptation is too much, and I'll crack it. So nothing special, just dying to use that porch for what it's my purpose for. It is out there to cook, out there to have a smoke and to drink and enjoy it.
Nice. What about you, David? Anything in particular?
Me, I think
House, all that kind of stuff.
you kind of want to get more into rums again as it gets warmer. I've recently shared some more rums with some friends of mine and gotten like pretty positive reactions, but like I don't actually own that many bottles of rum anymore, comparatively speaking. So I was like, I've kind of let that go to the wayside. I kind of need to start looking at places that have, but 'cause around here it's always good. There's always good whiskey selection, but like if you can get a good rum selection at your local liquor store, then like you've got a place that's worth coming back to a lot. Most of them around here will have like 1 or 2 things that are decent, but not a whole lot of great stuff. But I would want to look more into rum. That
So
would be
how
me.
do you, let me ask you this, because since you really enjoy rum, how do you generally drink your rum? Because
Straight.
here rum is always mixed.
No, he drinks
in
it
South
straight.
Florida.
He
Yeah,
drinks it straight.
I drink it neat. I drink it neat.
Okay.
I don't even.
That's the
like,
way I
would
do
it-
it too.
It would
I
have to be
drink
an
it straight.
exceptionally hot day for me to even consider putting ice in it. And if I'm going to put ice in it, I would sooner go to whiskey than I would go to putting ice in rum.
Now
Just
that's
the
where I'm
way
going
I
to
enjoy
disagree with
most of-
him. I'm going to disagree with him on
anyway.
that. If I'm going to have, so I do most of all of my, whether it's bourbon or rum, I like to have it with ice. 90% of the time, unless it's something like Eagle Rare 17 GTS, something like that, I want it straight up. But if I'm having, or Nelson Brothers Honey Cast, I want all that straight up. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm having rum, for almost everything, I always look forward to having rum on the ice.
Nice. So, is there anything in particular for you, Jody, that you're looking for with hopefully a change in the weather for you guys as well?
Well, so I like to do strawberry bourbon smashes. I think those are so good because it's fresh fruit and stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you, man, I have got this ice storm that we had really put some hurting on my pool and the filter system and the piping and all this stuff. So I'm gonna be spending probably the next couple weekends, elbows and backsides deep and fixing that and stuff of that nature. I mean, it split my filter system right straight down the middle, so it's because of the ice expanding and contracting and all that. Now, unfortunately, it didn't hurt. Well, that I can tell, it didn't hurt my pump system, but that's probably because right behind the pump, like literally probably within 3 feet, it just shattered the ice. I mean, shattered the piping right behind it.
So wow.
But that's not an expensive fix. You're only talking about $15-$20 there. Now that filter system, because it has UV and all that stuff in it, that's going to cost me probably about $1,000 to fix. So when I get all that done, like here's another thing too. I had to put some my liner got ripped because. Yep.
Well, lucky for you, Sun 6 months away to help you. This is true.
Yeah, this is true, and he would help me.
And by the way, Chuck was looking to open the mixture's 20-year. That's what he Billy to your question earlier. So I just wanted to wrap that background. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and so what I hope to happen is like I had the liner got a, because of the ice, it had a tear in it that was probably about 12 inches, and I've got it currently patched up. And I want to make this liner, because it's not old enough yet, it needs to make it at least one more summer and then replace it. But we'll see. I may not have that option. I may have to go ahead and pay the $10,000 to get a new liner and also a new filter and all that stuff and have it done that way. It sucks. I'm not going to lie to you. It sucks this year for that, because going into summer operations, spring operations and stuff of that nature, I'm going to have a lot of upfront money I got to pay out first to fix everything.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Mr. Frosty? Springtime is coming. Hopefully you guys have some much better weather as well. Anything in particular you should be getting into?
Colorado winter this year round has been incredibly warm. Our snowpack is 50% of average. So that means there's hardly any snow, even in the mountains. I think in the
one quick second, what's a warm temperature for you guys?
It was 70 degrees today.
Oh
yeah,
for you guys.
I got a buddy who lives up in Colorado Springs. He said, "Man, it's just there was no winter this year."
Yeah, 70 is our temperature. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah. Rumor is we're supposed to get, a foot of snow over the weekend, but that's not even going to happen. So, I can't even tell you the last time it was below freezing here in Colorado, Denver metro area.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I might have a lot of smoky forest fires on this year. So I need to find something that's not smoky in my,
Yeah, that I forgot about that. You would have a lot of, and that may affect a lot of East Tennessee as well, because though we had plenty of wetness and saturation there, we only had one major snow event, and it was mostly ice. And I was driving yesterday, Sunday, through parts of Franklin, parts of where I live and stuff, and there's so many like piles of trees that they're waiting to collect and pick the debris up from where
the trees
city
exploded and
county,
stuff.
and county and stuff is. And I haven't even picked up all the trees in my backyard yet. I mean, I already got a bonfire that's already every bit of 5 feet, That's probably a lie. 4 feet. And my neighbor has his bonfire has to be 15 foot or more of
Yes.
trees and tree limbs and stuff. And both of us are going to be burning off a major amount of wood. That's
Speaking of smoking trees, Chuck has an idea as to why it stayed so hot in Colorado. All
Well,
of those
it's mushrooms
jokes
now.
are-
Now they've decriminalized
Oh.
mushrooms. So
So everyone's bumping into walls. What's going on?
yeah,
You know,
Yesterday-
I read a
Smoking a Jeff
I know
at
this
the wall.
I know this is an academic thing, but I did read a study on it started with because I think Colorado was one of the first states that legalized marijuana. And I read a study about GIs talking about how it's increased the amount of people having GI issues and stuff of that nature by the legalization of marijuana, but also how the tourist population of families has decreased. Now, I don't know if that's true for you there, Jack. This is just what I read in academic studies. I don't know how true that is, but when some of the families they polled, they were like, I don't really have and I feel the same way when I go to San Diego. I don't really have a position on people smoking dope and stuff of that nature, but I don't want to smell it. Like if I can't smoke a cigarette, not that I didn't want to, but if I can't smoke a cigarette on the street, how can you smoke a pipe of, smoke dope on the street? And that seems to be okay. I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, so real quick here in South Florida, it's still not legal to do it out in public.
They're just not enforcing it.
They're enforcing it, but it's essentially a parking ticket of like $100. It's not even a court appearance.
Mm.
And if you happen to have a quote unquote medical card, it's nothing at all. But they prefer you to do it in your house, not out in public, because people can be exposed to it. And here in South Florida, they even have a strain. It's not a joint, but they have pills for children called Charlotte's Web. They help kids who have seizures and stuff like that.
Mm.
That's a derivative from marijuana. It doesn't have like THC and all that stuff.
It sounds like a CBD kind of derived.
Well, it has to be
thing.
either a CBD or THC 'cause that's a long time study that's been helping with epilepsy and stuff of that
Yeah.
nature.
Yeah.
So, and for us here, for me, yesterday I took the wife out on a date. We had a great time. We went to this place called Havana. Is it 1870?
Mm.
I'm sorry, Havana 1957. Really, really cool place.
It's
I had-
totally 100 years almost apart.
Yeah. I had a mango mojito. So mojito season is back in full swing here in South Florida. So I would say between now and I would say maybe late November is all mojito season. And I can tell you, I've had mojitos all over the place, but South Florida has the absolute corner market on mojitos.
Is that a vodka based
Rum.
Rum.
rum? Okay.
So the thing I wanted to ask is a follow up to that statement of you kind of like putting, South Florida, Miami on the map is like, this is where you really go for mojitos. What makes a good mojito, first of all, that they're doing so well in Miami?
Brown
good
people.
Huh?
Brown people.
Wait. That's Jody's line. You can't steal Jody's line.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was looking at my phone.
So, in my
And that's
opinion,
he slipped in there, man. You better watch it, Jody. He's gonna replace you.
in my opinion, what really makes a good mojito is you almost shouldn't realize it's an alcoholic drink, because a really good mojito, you can put 2 or 3 of them down in a sitting, and when you go to stand up, there's a can of whoop ass waiting for you. So I had 2 mango mojitos, and sure enough, I had a beautiful dinner. When I stood up, it was okay. I got you. So, but here we take mojitos to a different level, because you have your classic mojito, but we do pomegranate, raspberry, blueberry, strawberry.
But what do they use as the
mango.
base? I know it's rum, but what I'm saying is they use more classy type of or upscale rum, or are they using like
No,
coconut rum?
actually, here in most places you go, they use very, very, very high end rum. They don't use like the Malibu or something. That's like if you're doing it at your house. But because of me, mojito is the official drink of South Florida. Believe it or not, mojitos are not very expensive. You can get a really good mojito for probably between 10 and 12 bucks, and it's a big glass. And it's not overfilled with ice or anything like that. And it's always typically served with a um, a sugar cane stick and some
Mhm.
fresh
Like in
fruit
it?
in it. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
That is very cool. I like
Yeah.
that.
So when you finish your drink or as you're going through it, you
But the
take the sugar
presentation
cane
is really,
stick.
really, really
Yeah.
awesome.
And there's actually mojito competitions.
Mhm.
If you call them a bartender, you're gonna get into a fight because they're mixologists and all this kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, there's places like if you go to the tourist traps, yeah, somebody's gonna charge you for a $27 mojito, but
A
that's for
real
you going on
mojito,
South
probably.
Beach.
Yeah.
But if you go anywhere north of South Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Boca, Palm Beach, there's no reason you can't find a good mojito for under 15 bucks. And I mean,
So I'm gonna cut in real fast because you were asking about summertime drinks. My
axe.
son, I didn't say axe. I said
Ah,
axe.
I said axe.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask you a question.
There you go.
Anyway, so Billy was asking people questions, and so anyway, I went to this place yesterday called the Urban Market. And it's H-E. It could be Herban, but it's HERBAN, and it's in Franklin, Tennessee, and it has what you think it's going to like. A bunch of upscale white women there, like.
the urban market, like
Yeah, but
herbs
I
and
will tell you
spices.
this. Yep. So it has it's a grocery and a market and a wine place and all this. Anyway, so Dave Mustaine has from the land of Mustaine,
Mhm.
Alicia Field, no, not Alicia, but Elysian Fields wine.
Elysian Fields.
There you go.
Yes.
That's the word I was
Yeah.
looking for.
Yeah.
Elysium,
Uh,
that's
his own
the
wine.
the Roman afterlife or something.
Yeah. So anyway, it's from India. God, I'm an idiot. It's from Italy, and it's from his own
Mhm.
batch. All right. I'm gonna tell you what. That was. I'm not a wine drinker, okay, at all. And it was a white wine, and I'm gonna tell you what. It was so good. I was telling Michelle, I could drink this as a daily drinker every day. I really could. It was so good. And it wasn't too sweet because that's my thing. The reason why I don't like wine is it always feels so sweet to me. And that's the reason why I like bourbon. It's not sweet. It may be made with a lot of sugars and stuff like that, or part of the distillation process, it might be kind of sweet. But for the most part, it's not really sweet. But Elysian feels, that's what it is. But if you get a chance, first of all, you can't get that at your local place. You can only get it at kind of like craft places, but man, that is some good wine. And that would make a fantastic $60 a bottle, a fantastic summertime drink. Elysian Fields would, and like Billy was talking about, with a little bit of fruit or something like that. If you had some, like, I could, when you were talking about fruit, I immediately thought about this, and I was like, some pineapple, like hanging on the side of that, would be so good because it would break up that, it would give that, give you that natural sweetness that you want, because it's a very light. When I say light wine, it's what I mean by that. It's light on the sugar side. The white, it's a white, so it's not. Whites are typically more sugary based than the reds. Typically, that's what I've heard. I don't really know. I know I'm like a virgin when it comes to wines, but I will tell you that one right there, if I could have a daily drinker of wine, that would be the one I'd have.
He's just waiting for someone to pop his cork, folks.
So South Florida is
It already happened yesterday.
South Florida has a
South
good
duck.
se-
He likes the cold duck.
South Florida has a very good selection of wines. But what we tend to do with our wines in the medium range, we make sangria with it, which is
That's
also
what I was just
filled
going to
with fruit.
suggest.
And let me tell
Because-
you, a good
Mhm.
sangria, you make a big picture of it, and everybody at your party is gonna be on their ass in a couple of hours with the fruit and everything in it.
Yes, sir.
And if you can find it, Jody, Casa Diablo, House of the Devil. It's a red. It's probably a $35 bottle of wine. And I tell you, it is absolutely outstanding. I've been drinking that for years.
Casa Diablo.
Yeah.
Okay.
House of the
I'll
Devil.
look it up. I will look it up because Michelle likes reds a lot. She likes whites as well. I guess what I'm trying to say is she has diversity in her palate. But come on, that was funny.
Why did that hurt you so much? She has diversity in her palate.
But
It's okay. It's okay to like different things.
but the one that she brought over one night was a red that was aged in a bourbon barrel. That was freaking fantastic. I don't know what it was called. I wish she was on tonight, but she's dealing with her so her daughter Brayley and her son-in-law Logan, they have this cat named Leo, who is by the way, David, you know this, I hate cats. This cat is the greatest cat ever. And he's like a really cool ass cat, and he's having some difficulties right now, and he's at the vet and all this stuff, and he's got some lung issues, what we'll call it. Honestly, I think what he's having is like SIDS. I think that's what it's called for cats when they have the. I don't know if that's the right term.
No, that's a sudden infant death syndrome.
So yeah, it's not that, but I think it's all. He's almost having the same. Well, cats get this thing, this like AIDS, and I think that's what's going on. I forget. It might be leukemia, but they do get something that's like AIDS. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
But anyway, he has these lung issues right now.
Is it dire AIDS?
Oh my god, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look
I
up
think
cat
it's
AIDS.
syphilis.
I'm sorry. Go to hell.
See, y'all making fun of this, and it's not funny.
No,
Being serious.
the cats,
No.
the cats, one of the main things they get a lot of is leukemia.
That's
Now,
true.
that I have heard. Yeah.
They do get a form of leukemia.
They do get what's called cat AIDS. It's no, that's something different.
I got a question for Rob.
It's feline insufficiency virus. It's FIDS.
Immuno.
Yeah. That's why I said immunodeficiency virus.
Okay.
So talking about wine, Rob, your palate is pretty diverse. What do you like for wines if you're ever decide to dabble in it, if you're not doing rums or bourbons that night? What wines are you into?
I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
Okay. Any
If I'm
particular
forced,
reason?
if I'm forced to drink wine, I usually go with a lighter white, like a Pinot Gris or a Pinot Grigio.
Okay.
But
A nice Riesling.
I don't know Riesling. You might as well just pour sugar water down your throat. Riesling is
Yeah.
awful.
It all depends on the one that you get. Because I don't like a sugary sweet wine.
Yeah, but a Pinot Gris or a Pinot Grigio, if I'm forced to drink a red, it's probably going to be some sort of an Italian,
Okay.
Montepulciano, something like that. But I if I have other options, I really stay. I choose not.
He
to
sells
drink
is a really great. I guess I'm guessing that's a red wine.
What a red.
That'd be my guess.
Chuck, is there a red? Is that a red? Let us know.
Oh, it has to be with a steak. Yeah, it has to
Yeah.
be.
Oh,
Yeah.
my guess.
So I really like this one. It's not really super expensive. Villa Antinori, they have a Toscana red. It's not sweet at all. It's a little bit dry. And I'll tell you what, I could polish off like they're $20 for a bottle of it.
There
And
you go.
there was a point in time right before I got in all the whiskey stuff that I was drinking like a all right, ready? I would go to Chipotle and get myself a steak burrito and then go to the liquor store and get a bottle of wine and drink this wine while I was eating my Chipotle.
No, it's
Hell
not.
yeah, you know what? You
Listen,
can do a lot worse, honestly.
So what I'm sorry, what Chuck is talking about, it is from the House of Mustaine as well, family-owned winery by Dave Mustaine of Megadeth, released to the wine club members in 2025. It's an Italian wine, features notes of red fruit, plum, date, Mediterranean herbs, and cocoa. And
sounds
the
very
House of
complex.
Mustaine is Tennessee-based. It's a vineyard in Italy and California. Flavors, it's complex, but it, like I said, it has the red fruits, plum, date, hint of violet, ginger, and chili chocolate. It actually sounds really, those palate differences make sense. And it's priced normally around $74 for a bottle of red, but if you remember, it's $62. And it's named for the album, 1986 album, Peace Sells, but Who's Buying?
And Jack, it's not unusual. I've polished off a bottle of wine with like a Churchill cigar, which is a particularly long cigar. I've polished off a pretty close to a whole bottle smoking a cigar, and that I will have to be careful with my cigar selection because if I'm having like a Padron 7000 or something that's a heavy cigar and wine, I'm not gonna make it. I can't even recall where I was able to keep what I ate after doing wine and a heavy cigar. So I can only
Yeah.
do one or the other. So if I do a heavy cigar, it has to be like a short story, like maybe a punch and some wine. But if I try to do like a Churchill,
Save those Macanudos for the bottle of wine, man.
yeah,
There you
you're
go.
right. Or like a nub or something like that. But the Macanudo or a natural would be
Real quick.
more
So
fun.
educate us who don't like. As you guys all know, I like to smoke a pipe and with tobacco and stuff of that nature. So I'm not as keen on the cigars, though I do have a thing of them right here in my office, right up there. But for those of us who don't really know what we're buying on cigars, what do you mean by macadoodles and stuff of that nature?
Go ahead, Rob, take it.
So,
Well, don't make fun of me. I'm just trying to figure
Not-
it out.
not making
at
fun.
all.
So, cigars are just like anything else that you drink. You can get a lower proof, lighter bourbon. You can get a medium proof bourbon with a little more flavor. You can get a full flavor, high proof bourbon. Cigars are the same thing. So Macanudos are really well constructed, very light bodied cigars.
Breakfast
They
cigar.
they don't
You
have,
said
they're not
breakfast?
they're not full of flavor. To me, like smoking a Macanudo is like smoking a cigarette, right?
So,
Yeah.
what was that old
Nice.
guy's name that was always on the Johnny Carson show? I think his name started with B. It was like Bernie or something like that. But he smoked cigars his entire life, and he talked about
Burns.
George Burns.
George Burns. Yeah.
Uh,
So George Burns smoked like he would say that like when he was on. I remember on the Johnny Carson show one time. He's like, "This is like my 8th or 10th one today." What is he most likely smoking? Because I will be honest with you, I do like a cigar every now and then, but personally, I like the nubs a little bit better, like the fat nubs that are like
Mhm.
short, and I get right through it, and I feel like it's not a full-time commitment. I could cheat on it if I wanted to, that's how I feel.
So a fun fact about George Burns, his doctor told him he needs to stop smoking
I know his
cigars
doctor died before him.
Yeah,
beforehand.
yeah, I lived his doctor. Yeah.
So George Burns, it would be hard to say because he wasn't what you call a label whore. So you really didn't know what he was smoking. So 9 times out of 10, he was probably smoking some sort of house blend. I can't visualize Burns with any kind of short cigar. He always had what you would call a long cigar. It wasn't a Churchill, but it was a full time. This is probably an hour, 15 minute smoke, and what Rob was alluding to. So like, let's say a Padron 7000. That's a heavy cigar. 1926 Anniversario.
Well, by the way, 1926 anniversario, whatever you called it, that's what you told me to buy my son
Yeah.
and I for his first cigar ever. And I mean, allegedly his first cigar ever. Uh, but he was like, "Wow, Dad, this is really tight. Like, this is a lot smoking for."
Mm.
Well, and it's a really classic cigar, but like cigars is something that you have to learn and build a tolerance for over time. So somebody, if Rob was at my house, Rob can go in any one of my four humidors and pick whatever he wanted. So can Gino because they're both cigar smokers. I would consider them to be connoisseurs. If Rob picked up a Anniversario, which is like $20 to $25 stick, I know with all confidence he's gonna really enjoy it. Same thing with Gino. Somebody who's not a cigar smoker, listen, the one downstairs on
That
the
would be me,
left,
by the way.
you
Mhm.
can have anything out of there because it's Rocky Patel's, like the
Mm.
Edge or the Decade or something along those lines. I'm gonna give you a stick that goes anywhere from $6 to $10. But I would also not let you get your hands on anything that's gonna turn you green. So a Macanudo might be right up your alley starting out. But if I gave a
Mhm.
Macanudo to Gino or Rob, that's a cigar that we went out to Vegas or we went on a guy's trip and we came downstairs, we had breakfast, and now we're gonna go sit out on the lawn or something, and we're gonna start with that.
Well,
Yeah.
And
speaking of
then
which, I'll
for
be in
lunch,
Vegas in October.
we'll move up to something a Decade by Rocky Patel, My Father's, maybe a Camacho, and then for dinner, you have a nice steak, you do some bourbon, and then you can get into the heavier stuff. But that's for the guys who's been doing it for years and they have that tolerance. If I gave Rob a Macanudo at night, he might question our friendship. Like Jesus Christ, bro, what did I do? Did I say something? Did I offend your wife or what?
Oh, I didn't know you
Yeah,
was
That's
that
that
pissed
you
off.
really.
yeah. Like what happened, bro? Pockets tight? What happened? Talk to me, dog. You know. so, so if we were all sitting around,
But
I
here's
would
my
give.
thing, real quick, with cigars. So my thing with cigars is, and I think David can attest to this. I don't want to taste it throughout the entire night, and that's what happens when I smoke cigars. Is that when I smoke a pipe, I can have a pipe, and then, well, first of all, I don't feel like it's full time commitment. It's whatever I put in the bowl. I'm smoking that, and then I'm doing my thing, and I have a nice Briarworks pipe, and I feel great about myself, but I don't feel like I'm fully committed, right?
Mhm.
When I smoke a cigar, I wake up the next morning, I'm like, I can't brush this taste off my mouth. Like I'm sitting there like what I gotta do, you know?
After smoking like a full-bodied cigar, I have to take a shower. I am not.
But that
kidding.
doesn't
I have
work.
to
And you're sitting
shower.
in front of the full flame of the
Yeah.
shower head. And you're like,
Yeah,
Well,
you're just like I cannot smell it anymore. Like it's
So-
the only thing I can smell or taste is the cigar.
So that goes to your palate. So your tongue can only have five senses. That's it. So a heavy cigar is gonna weigh on you guys. Me, Rob, and Gino, we can smoke something heavy and enjoy it. Meaning a couple of hours after, like man, that smell of that cigar in your beard is a good thing. And I can tell you this personally, what I
Look,
do.
I,
When
I like a good La Flor Dominicana double Lajero for breakfast.
Listen, that boy is not even playing. When you see what that boy talking about, I can't listen. I'd be like, Rob, you my dog, but listen, I'm gonna go a little lighter. I'm not doing that in the morning. I'm trying to get through the day. So just to give you an idea, guys, let's say this was a brand new hat, right? Just got it. I'll go out, I'll have a cigar, and I will intentionally blow a big puff of smoke maybe 3 or 4 times into the
Into the hat.
cigar and put it on.
into the
Because
hat.
now the hat is officially mine. So here's the kicker.
Can't make
over
it more
time-
possessive. Cannot make it more possessive.
This fucking PhD.
Mhm.
We all know what that stands for, right?
Yeah.
Player hate dickhead. So over time, when I go to put my hat on, I can sometimes still smell that cigar.
So I agree with you. So I have a cardigan, sweater, that I wear, like a smoker sweater and stuff like that, and I love it. Dave is frozen like in the most. Well, he's not. It was just like all nose there.
Sorry, I was looking at a different screen. I've got a multi-screen thing. It's a.
I know, but it was all nose. It was like nose right here.
Like,
It was like
nose, motherfuckers.
That shit was in my house a
this
couple
could
of
not
days
be
ago.
any worse.
Like,
than what
tell
he
me
did.
about the cheese pairing with your wine.
That boy can smell 2030.
That's great.
But
geez.
no,
That boy can smell the mojitos from here.
So I have
Damn
a
right,
really
buddy.
nice cardigan that I wear. There's a smoker's jacket or smoker's sweater that I wear like when I'm sitting in my bourbon room and stuff of that nature. And I love to have a pipe, and I love the way it smells, and it does pick up the scents. I agree with you; it picks up the scents, and I don't wash it for the reason that you're just talking about. I love the smell of it. It smells like the different tobaccos that I've been around and stuff of that nature. Here's what's funny: I hang it between my suits, so they kind of pick up the smell too. You know,
There you go.
And just to give you an idea,
I get that.
I just turned 50 this past November. I was smoking cigars when I was 16, 17 with my grandfather. And like consistently, like I probably, and especially now when I'm, I got the smokers going, I probably do 2 or 3 a day when I'm out there. And sometimes it'll be crazy because I'll put a cigar in my mouth. I'll do a punch on the end of it, and I might not light it for an hour.
Really?
Yeah, I'll hold on to it for a minute, and I can fully operate. Now, I don't have a cigar in my mouth when I'm, butchering meat because that's just not sanitary.
Nope. Yep. Nope.
But as soon as the meat is on the smoker, I put a cigar in my mouth. Sometimes I'll light it right up. Sometimes I'll wait. And let me tell you, when it was cold here, I would have a bourbon, a cigar, and I would be sitting directly behind the firebox. And so here we don't have fireplaces in houses. But let me tell you guys, sitting behind that firebox when we had those, 30 degrees, and don't laugh at me,
Probably
Gino,
felt pretty damn good, man.
it felt amazing. But it's a thing that you build up over time. Rob and Gino have been smoking cigars for quite some time. Rob has probably been smoking cigars out of the goddamn womb, knowing him and Johnny Carson together. So it's one of those things that you build up over.
Per the Google machine, George Burns smoked a lot, mostly El Productos.
El Producto.
So for us, don't know what that is. What is that?
So there's 2 ways cigars are made. The kind of cigars that Billy's talking about, I'm talking about, are long filler cigars, where they actually use the whole leaf to make the cigar.
Or like a Cuban made cigar.
Yes. Because
I think if I remember correctly from my cigarology that I learned, the Cubans were who started the full leaf wrapping.
Yes.
All right.
So
I'm sorry. Continue.
An El Producto, or here's a name Gino probably knows, the old Marsh Wheelings, the Phillips cigars that you see in the convenience stores, the ones that they hollow out to make blunts out of. Those are short filler cigars. So after they make the long filled cigars, and you get all those little bits of tobacco and ends of tobacco, they chop all that up and they roll that into a cigar. So you get a short, they call it a short filler cigar. That's what it, and they still wrap the outside with a full leaf, but the product in the center is mainly chopped tobacco.
So when they do a full leaf, so is it the full? So again, we only have a little bit of time, but like educate me a little bit. So it's the full leaf. Like, is it full leaf? Like, I'm thinking of a cinnamon roll. Looking at it, is it the whole thing? Coming out like this.
So,
is the full leaf? How's that production work?
Here's the thing with cigars. There's a filler and there's a wrapper. And so cigars are just basically sun grown. They're put in an aging barn, they're rolled, and then they're aged some more. But tobacco
Strongest man I
leaves-
ever met. His name's Roy Brown. He worked at the Franklin Police Department, and he has like 25 kids. And he's a black man that never worked out in his life. And he was the strongest person I've ever met in my life. And I asked him one time when he choke slammed this person, the suspect. I'm like, so tell me, how'd you become so strong? He's like, well, Jody. This is how he talked. He's like, Jody, I grew up here in Tennessee, and I'm a black man, and we grew up on a farm, and I was responsible for hanging that tobacco at the top of the rafters in the barn so they could dry out and stuff. I did that all day long for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, whatever it took. I can tell you, that's all I've ever done in my life is just hang some tobacco, and then I became a police officer. And then on the weekends, I still would help my pappy and my daddy out, and I'd hang tobacco for him because that's what they wanted me to do. So I just worked and did that all the time. That's what he would say to you. All right. And he was the most Southern sounding person I've ever met in my life. And by far, one of the most class act individuals I've ever known, but also that dude was so strong. Like he just was like, I'm going to beat your ass with force of farm fed strong.
That's
That's
what we call it.
Farm boy
strength.
strong.
Yeah.
Farm
so
strength.
Here's
Yep.
the thing.
Corn fed ass whooping.
Despite all the technology that we have as of today, cigars is one of the few industries that have not been really touched so much by technology because it's grown. Some of it's grown sunshade. They pick it when it's ready. They hang it in the drying barn. Like you said, from the rafters, they take it down. They age it some more, dry it, because it all starts out green, and that's where you get the color for when it dries out. Age it, roll it, and then they age it some more. So the average cigar that you get, now we're talking high-end cigars. We're not talking Philly blunts and that bullshit. Average cigar is probably anywhere from 4, 5, 6 years old before you get it in your hands. Just so you know. But cigar leaves, the rollers have to be so good at what they're doing. A bad cigar roller will make a cigar either too loose or too tight, to the
Right.
point to where if a roller is having a bad day, they take them off the line because they could screw up hundreds of cigars.
Yeah.
All right. So real quick. So because we're over time, I want to ask the 3 cigar. I don't know if you smoke cigars that often.
No.
All right. So I'm just going to ask the 3 cigar aficionados. If you had to pick a bourbon and a cigar to go together, and I want to call you guys out, who would you pick, or what would you pick to go with that bourbon, and what bourbon would it be? Start with Billy.
Eagle Rare 10, 1926 Anniversario number 9, which is a cigar I have every year on my birthday.
Okay, cool. Rob.
I'm going with
A giant
a
ass cigar.
CAO
Ooh.
770 or 860.
Ooh.
A giant cigar.
Yeah. And I'm probably going to do it with the Bardstown Weeded.
Okay, let me stop.
Ooh,
one
I like
second
that.
before we jump to
Real quick.
Gino.
I want to move it. Yeah, 'cause I want to ask that question. Why a weeded?
Okay, but real quick, Rob, stay away from my wife with the CAOs because she might divorce me.
And if that happens, let me know how to move in there. But real quick. So
Apparently, you have to become a cigar buff, Jody. You understand?
I'm
the
trying
assignment.
to learn right quick. So, but
Gino,
I do
go
want
for
to know
it.
about the weeded. Why a weeded? Bardstown weeded specifically. What's the
It could be
combination?
any weeded. I'm just sitting here staring at the Bardstown Weeded that I haven't sipped on in a while. I'm going that I
would go
like.
good.
I just prefer weeded bourbon. So
I just wonder if it was because the wheat has a sweeter taste. I
it
didn't
has
know
a
if that
sweeter
had,
flavor.
Yeah.
No, because I mean, with the CAO 770 flathead, you're not. It's a full bodied cigar, so a little
I'm
something
sure,
to offset that full bodied is a little sweet coming in behind. That's okay.
So, as a chef, real quick. So, both you guys are both chefs. So when I'm hearing what I'm hearing, so tell me if I'm wrong or right, and maybe wrong. I'm hearing bitterness versus sweetness, and you're trying to build that or combine that palate to where you're saying this is what I like with that.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
I like things that will offset each other.
Yeah, which would be bitter versus sweet. I agree with
Yeah.
you. Okay.
All right, Gino, you're up.
Yep.
I don't have a vast repertoire in cigars yet, but I do prefer the Perdomo 26 Nicaraguan. That's one of mine that if I'm out to buy it, that's the first one I'm looking for to pick up, and then I'll shoot off from that. And I'll pair that most of the time with Buffalo Trace.
So that's funny you bring that up. So like for me, who likes to smoke tobacco in a pipe, I prefer something like a southern blend is what it's called, which is very upfront with some of the natural smells and like honeysuckle, maybe a little bit of corn, all these sweetness things. I like to blend it with something that's a lower proof because it already has a sweetness to it. And so that's what I prefer to blend it with as well if I'm smoking a pipe.
Yeah, kind of the way I think about it, and it may be right, may not be right, but this is the way I enjoy it. I don't want a high proof bourbon. I don't want something extra spicy. I mean, I've had it with rye, and I enjoy the rye for the spice, but that's what the cigar is for.
No, I agree with you there. That's exactly what I would think with a pipe is that.
And then I want something nice, mellow.
I will tell you this.
Drinkable.
So I will tell you this. American Barrel here in Columbia, Tennessee is the only place on the planet that I will allow somebody to make me a Manhattan made with rye. And he does a chocolate Manhattan, and it's Manhattan, which is, by the way, if you're coming here from TikTok, this is the picture I posted tonight. He made it with Chattanooga rye whiskey, and
That's
it's
a good rye.
So it is good rye, and I mean it is good rye if you like rye. I have an unopened bottle of it. I've never touched it.
I enjoy that one.
But that is a good one and stuff of the nature. But what I'm saying is that's the only one that I will allow to happen with that. And Nathan over at American Barrel does a great job with that. But anyway, guys, love, share, follow, subscribe. We need some more subs. So subscribe. And, guys, all be good to yourself.
Enjoy, gentlemen.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
That's it.
Peace out.
Good.
You should drink it from straight to the bottle at this point. It looks like, Billy.
Yeah. I mean,
Cheers, guys. See you next week.
Yep.
I-